Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the fascinating world of coin collecting. Today we're counting down the top 5 ultra-rare Roosevelt dimes that every collector dreams of having in their collection. These dimes aren't just small change, they are packed with rich history and can be worth a fortune, so if you're into coin collecting or just curious about how a dime could be worth thousands, make sure to stick around. 2016 D1 dime. The 2016 D Roosevelt dime, like all dimes minted after 1946, features the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. His face was chosen to honor his role in founding the March of Dimes, a charity that originally aimed to combat polio, a disease that Roosevelt himself had suffered from. Sculptor John R. Sinak designed the portrait, which remains largely unchanged since its introduction. On the reverse, we see symbols representing liberty, peace, and strength. The torch symbolizes liberty, the olive branch represents peace, and the oak branch stands for strength and independence. This powerful imagery has been a staple of the Roosevelt dime for over 70 years. Below these symbols, you'll notice the D Mint mark, indicating that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Now let's break down the coin's technical details. The 2016 D dime is composed of a copper nickel clad, meaning the outer layer is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, while the core is pure copper. It weighs 2.27 grams and has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters. These specifications have been standard for dimes since 1965, when the US stopped using silver in its production. Now let's talk about value. The 2016 D Roosevelt dime, being a modern coin, is generally worth face value that's 10 cents in circulated condition. These dimes were minted in huge quantities, with over 1.5 billion struck at the Denver Mint alone, so they're not particularly rare. However, if you have a 2016 D dime in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially one graded MS65 or higher by a third-party grading service, its value can rise. In MS65 condition, the coin might fetch around $1 to $3 depending on the collector's demand. Coins with even higher grades like MS67 or MS68 can sell for as much as $20 or more, though these are rarer. There aren't any major error varieties known for the 2016 D dime, but as with any coin, errors can occasionally occur. Off-center strikes, die cracks, and misaligned dies are all possible and can increase the coin's value. Keep an eye out for these anomalies if you're looking for something more valuable in your spare change. So, while the 2016 D dime is still in active circulation and mostly worth its face value, it's always a good idea to check for high-grade coins or error varieties that can boost its worth. You never know, that dime in your pocket might be worth more than you think. 1971 Resolvet dime. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, replacing the Mercury dime as the 10-cent coin in the US. It was designed by sculptor John R. Sinak to commemorate Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who played a key role in founding the March of Dimes to fight polio. Roosevelt's likeness on the dime honors his efforts, and this coin has remained relatively unchanged for over 7 decades. But what about the 1971 edition? Is it worth more than just 10 cents? In 1971, the U.S. Mint produced Roosevelt dimes at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while the Denver minted coins are marked with a D. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins marked with an S. These proof coins were specially struck for collectors and have a much sharper and more detailed finish. Around 2.9 billion dimes were produced in 1971 across these 3 mints, making this a very common year for Roosevelt dimes. Most coins from this year are not rare, but that doesn't mean they lack value, especially if you happen to have a proof or high-grade example. The 1971 Roosevelt dime is composed of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, also known as clad coinage. This copper-nickel combination replaced the silver composition used in dimes before 1965. So, unlike older dimes, the 1971 dime does not contain any silver, which is important when considering its value. The design features Roosevelt's profile on the obverse with the torch, olive branch, and oak branch symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength on the reverse. While the design is consistent, there are some error coins and high-grade specimens from 1971 that stand out. As with any coin, errors can significantly increase the value of a 1971 Roosevelt dime. Some common errors to look for include misstrikes, double dies, or off-center strikes. These can sometimes fetch a higher price, especially if they are in good condition. If you have a 1971 dime with noticeable errors, it's worth getting it appraised. 1991 D1 dime. The D Mint mark on the 1991 D dime indicates it was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the major coin-producing facilities in the US. This year saw the minting of approximately 1.16 billion Roosevelt dimes in Denver alone. While this sounds like a large number, the 1991 D Roosevelt dime isn't particularly rare in circulation today. However, its value can vary based on its condition, and some error coins are more sought after by collectors. The 1991 D Roosevelt dime is made from a copper-nickel clad composition. The outer layers are 75% copper and 25% nickel, while the core is pure copper. This composition has been standard for US dimes since 1965, when silver was removed from circulating coins. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt designed by John R. Sinak. while the reverse shows an olive branch, torch, and oak branch, symbolizing peace, liberty, and strength. When determining the value of a 1991 D Roosevelt dime, condition is everything. Coins in circulation tend to be in lower grades due to wear and tear. A well-worn 1991 D dime will usually only be worth its face value minus 10 cents. However, in uncirculated or mint state condition, these dimes can fetch a premium. Uncirculated coins, especially those in grades of MS65 or higher, can be worth between $1 to $3. Higher grade examples like MS67 can be valued at around $50 or more depending on the market. Collectors also look out for error coins. Error dimes from 1991, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or double dies, can command much higher prices. An off-center 1991 D dime, for example, might sell for $20 to $50 depending on the severity of the error and its condition. Always inspect your coins carefully. Sometimes an error coin can be hiding in plain sight. So what's the current market value of a 1991 D Roosevelt dime? As of now, circulated dimes generally hold only their face value, but coins in mint state or with notable errors are sought after by collectors. To summarize, circulated 1991 D dimes are typically worth 10 cents. Uncirculated examples in MS65 or higher are worth $1 to $3. High-grade examples like MS67 can fetch around $50 or more. Error coins can range from $20 to $100 depending on the error. Now, let's fast forward to 1999. The D on this dime stands for the Denver Mint, where this particular coin was produced. In 1999, over 1.3 billion Roosevelt dimes were minted in Denver alone. This makes it a relatively common coin in terms of mintage, but that doesn't mean there aren't interesting aspects that could boost its value. Year of minting 1999, mint mark D Denver Mint. Mintage 1,315,000,000. The obverse or front of the coin features a portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt. The initials JS appear at the base of Roosevelt's neck, paying tribute to the designer John R. Sinek. On the reverse, we have a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. So, what about the value? If you find a regular 1999 D. Roosevelt dime in your pocket change, it's likely only worth its face value 10 cents. But condition and certain errors can significantly boost the value of this coin. Circulated condition G4 to VF20, these coins are very common and typically hold a value of around 10 cents unless they have an error or unique feature. Uncirculated condition MS60, MS65, a coin in uncirculated condition might be worth anywhere between $1 to $3. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. MS67 and above for coins graded MS67 or higher, values can soar to around $25 to $50 or more, depending on market demand and the quality of the strike. But here's where things get interesting: errors and varieties. Some 1999 D Roosevelt dimes can be worth a lot more due to minting errors. Off-center strikes dimes with an off-center strike can fetch anywhere from $10 to $50 or more, depending on the severity of the error. Die cracks or cuds, these minting defects can range in value from a few dollars to upwards of $100, depending on the size and visibility of the error. Double die errors, although rare, a double die error can skyrocket the value of a coin to several $100s or more. If you think you have a 1999 D Roosevelt dime that's in exceptional condition or has a mint error, it's worth getting it graded by a professional. PCGS and NGC are two well-known coin grading services that can authenticate and grade your coin, giving it an official value. 1977 dime coin. The Roosevelt dime, first minted in 1946, was created in honor of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who helped lead the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. By the time we reached 1977, the dime had already been in circulation for over 30 years, remaining an essential part of U.S. currency. But what makes the 1977 dime special? In 1977, the United States Mint produced over 600 million dimes across its Philadelphia and Denver facilities. These dimes were minted using a composition of copper and nickel, as silver had been removed from circulation in U.S. dimes back in 1965. Despite the lack of silver content, some 1977 dimes can still be valuable, depending on their condition and rarity. Let's take a closer look at the design. On the obverse or front side, you'll find a portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt designed by John R. Sinek. The inscription Liberty is placed to the left of Roosevelt's face, while the motto In God We Trust appears just below his chin. The year 1977 is displayed on the lower right. On the reverse side, we see the iconic torch, olive branch, and oak branch design symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. The inscriptions include United States of America at the top and one dime at the bottom with E pluribus unum placed centrally. Now let's talk about mintage numbers. In 1977, the Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 429 million dimes, while the Denver Mint produced about 377 million. Additionally, a smaller number of proof dimes were produced at the San Francisco Mint, specifically for collectors. These proof coins, with their mirror-like finish and sharp details, are often more valuable than regular circulation dimes, especially in higher grades. The condition of a coin plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect uncirculated coin. Most 1977 dimes found in circulation will have wear and tear, usually grading in the range of fine to very fine, making them worth just their face value of 10 cents. However, if you come across a 1977 dime in mint state MS condition, especially those graded MS65 or higher, it can be worth significantly more. These coins can fetch anywhere from $5 to $20 depending on demand and the specific grade. Now let's talk about one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting: error coins. While most 1977 dimes are common, there are a few varieties and errors that collectors should watch for. For example, dimes with double die errors, where parts of the design appear doubled, can command higher prices. Additionally, off-center strikes, where the design isn't properly aligned, can also be worth more depending on the severity of the error. Always check your dimes carefully. Finding an error could turn a common coin into a valuable one.